No, absolutely not. Not gonna happen. It will never happen. I hate the word no. I really hate it. And to be honest, I couldn't tell you why. Because when in our society did the word no put so much fear into everyone, all of us? You're a liar right now if you said that there wasn't a time you were a little bit nervous about somebody saying no to you. Whether that be a girl, or that be a job, or that be sports, whether that be an opportunity, whatever it is. At one point in time, you sat there and you dreaded waiting for an answer. Why is that? When did that happen? When and where did the word no take us like this, put their hands right here, and put us in a chokehold? Because I feel like as kids, we all heard the word no a lot. So if you had parents, most of the time, you're going up to them asking, hey, can I get this? Can I get that? No, you can't. I'm not trying to spend $1 or $2 on some toy that you're going to literally throw in the corner. Your parents told you no, they had to, or else you would have no control, no limits. Now, that was a different type of no because you were a kid and you were just wanting stuff. But as you got older, then the no's, you started taking them a little more personal. Maybe you wanted to ask a girl out, asked her to homecoming, prom. Maybe it was before that, I don't know. And they said, no, I'm good. We're just going to be friends. Or maybe you wanted to ask the teacher if you could get extra credit, or they could help you find a way to get to a college that you wanted to. And they said, no, you have no shot of going there. You have no shot of doing that. You're not cut out for that. And that was a hard thing for you to hear. But you heard one or two too many of those no's, and eventually you just stopped asking. You stopped asking questions that would benefit you or make your life happy. And then you heard what should really scare you. Something worse than no. And that's never asking at all. Never having an idea of what happened, why it happened. I'm here to tell you today, you gotta cut that out. You gotta change your perspective. The word no should not scare any of us. It's just a personal opinion. Did you like the food or did you not like the food? Yes or no? There's no point in saying yes to something you didn't like. There's no point. Because if you just communicate clearly, right, then you don't have to have the food again, or you can tell them what they need to improve on. But if you never say no, if you never hear the word no, then you never get to even the opportunity to improve. There are so many times that I've been acting like an idiot, and my friends have had to tell me, yeah, no, you weren't really in the right situation right there. You weren't the one in the right. And it took me hearing the word no, looking at myself and being like, man, what am I doing to grow as a person? So those no's that you hear, that you sit there and you're dreading all the time because you don't want to face that answer. You just want to hear yes all your life. That could be what's holding you back from your entire life changing. Think about it. Businessmen all over the country. There's a guy who does street interviews. He asks all of them if they've been homeless before. And almost every single one of them says yes. But while they were homeless, what they didn't do was they didn't just stick in the system they were in, say, okay, well, this system said yes to me. They've accepted me, so I'm going to stay here. No, they kept knocking on doors. And I guarantee you, if you asked any one of them this question, they would tell you, yeah, I got told no probably about 1,000 times before one person finally said yes. And that one yes made them millionaires, gave them a company they owned, right? As long as you're being diligent in your work, there's no shame in knocking on a door and hearing the words, no, we don't want you. No, we don't accept you. I'm in a position right now where I'm out of college and jobs in my major, I'm a media communications major. So social media stuff. They don't want me. They just don't. So I graduated with good grades. I have internship experience. Did a lot of projects in college, did a lot of college projects before college. And no, they don't want me. I'm sure they have a fun time when I put in my resume or put in my application and seeing it and be like, skip. We're not interested. And you know what? That's good for them because I am going to keep knocking. Every door I see, I will keep knocking. In fact, these days, I seek out the answer no. Because if I get told no once a day, all it's going to do is make that yes feel even better. When it comes along and I'm in a position where I want to be in, where I get to be happy, where I get to be successful. Because once I hear one yes, after all the no's I have heard, best believe I'm going to make the most of it. And then that's just how life is. Once you hear one yes, that doesn't mean stop. That doesn't mean be content. Once you hear that first yes, it should just make you hungry for another one. But how do you hear more yeses? You got to get through the no's first. So once you get that first yes and you're sitting there in your new position that, maybe is paying you all right, learn that new position, master it, be great in your job, be great in your work. But keep your eyes open because who knows, maybe across the street there's a better one that's going to be even more fulfilling. One that's going to help you move higher in the world and not just stay where you are. Because that's what everybody who's rich right now wants you to do. They want you to stay where you are. They want you to coast. They want you to say, oh, I have a full-time job. I'm getting by with my bills. I'll work to this. I'll work to that. You're going to work until you're 30, 40, 50, 60. And you're not going to have much by the end of it, right? The only way you can create generational wealth, if you didn't come from it, start trying something new. Start kicking, start screaming, start doing anything. Anything. But you can't get to that point until you hear the words, no. No, it's not going to happen. It's just not. And that's okay. Because somebody here soon, somebody's going to say yes to you. And it's going to change your life.